Part 5. So this is what the Omidyar network is involved in, and it continues. Omidyar's network has followed the same disastrous neoliberal script in other areas of investment, particularly its investment into privatizing public schools in the United States and the poor regions in Africa. One of the earliest Omidyar investments went into an online private charity website for needy public schools here in the United States. Huge billionaire foundations and corporations have been holding children hostage by starving public school funding and replacing it with charity money from the likes of Walmart Foundation, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and the Broad Foundation. We can add the Omidyar network to this list as well. Now, my own commentary is public education is most certainly broken, but privatizing all education probably is not going to be the answer to our problems. The article continues. Omidyar Foundation invested in the same idea, but with a Web 2.0 crowdsourced twist. DonorsChoose.org allows individuals to pledge amounts as small as $10 and allows school teachers to get online asking for small sums to help their classrooms. The end result, of course, is that it normalizes the continued strangling of public schools in the sense that only private funding can save education. Omidyar poured millions into Donors Choose and organized donations from other Silicon Valley donors. At first, most public school teachers didn't see this angle. Many used the resource to raise funds for their own classrooms. It wasn't until Donors Choose announced its partnership with the anti-public education film, Waiting for Superman, that teachers realized they'd been duped. The movie promoted the myth that education could only be saved by the likes of Tea Party-backed school reform advocates like Michelle Ray. Teachers organized a boycott of Donors Choose after the Omidyar-funded group announced it was essentially bribing its members with a $15 gift certificate to anyone who bought tickets for Waiting for Superman. 2 years later, Donors Choose partnered and promoted yet another right-wing teacher-bashing propaganda film, Won't Back Down. Overseas, the Omidyar network is embarking on school privatization programs that will make Donors Choose look like Mother Teresa's handiwork. Omidyar provided seed capital for a new Africa-based for-profit private school enterprise for the poor called Bridge International. In 2009, ON gave Bridge a total of $1.8 million. Matt Brannick, the top figure, the managing partner in the Omidyar network, sits on Bridge International's board of directors. Bridge International's first schools are built in Kenya and are slated to expand across sub-Sahara, hoping to rope millions of poor African kids into its schools. Bridge's strategic partner is the for-profit education giant, Pearson. Diane Ratwich, former U.S. Assistant Secretary of Education and critic of school reform efforts, has warned about Pearson's near monopolistic power influencing the privatization of American education. The idea behind Bridge Internationals is to provide a franchised school-in-a-box model under which each school teaches the exact same curriculum at the exact same time to every student. Teachers are given minimal training. They are merely required to teach according to the script given to them and read out to their students, scripts delivered through Nook tablets. Students pay $5 a month, a lot for each student in areas as poor as sub-Saharan Africa. Currently, one new Bridge International School is opening every 2.5 days around Kenya, overtaking public education, with plans to expand further. It sounds like a good idea, but the problem is that Bridge's business model has a very narrow set of supporters, namely free market think tanks, the global for-profit education industry, and proponents of the neoliberal utopia who wants to defund public education altogether and replace it by private schooling only. Bridge is only a few years old, but criticism of its educational model is already piling up even from centrist pro-business think tanks like the Brookings Institution. Even at $4 or $5 a month, Bridge's low-cost education is too expensive, way too expensive for many people in the developing world, forcing children to go to work and making families choose between buying food or paying for education. Naturally, food wins out. And that simply means that many children can't afford to go to school, which only increases and reinforces the stratification of inequality. The fight against illiteracy requires free, quality education that's available to all children. What it doesn't need is a bunch of neoliberal techno-disruptors who want to turn education into a for-profit industry that provides schooling only to those who can afford it. And anyway, the very notion that you can squeeze enough profits from millions of the poorest children in the world to attract mega venture capital while providing quality education is absurd. That profit money is extracted from the very people Bridge is supposedly trying to help. And still think that Pierre Omidyar, is a different type of billionaire? Still convinced that he is one-of-a-kind, civic-minded person? Then you might want to ask yourself why Omidyar is so smitten by the ideas of an economist known as the Friedrich Hayek of Latin America. His name is Hernando de Soto, and he's been adored by everyone from Milton Friedman to Margaret Thatcher to the Koch brothers. Omidyar Network poured millions of nonprofit dollars into subsidizing his ideas, helping put them into practice in poor slums around the developing world. Yeah, it goes on and on. Part 6 of this video concerns these neoliberal von Hayek laissez-faire politics in Latin America and Omidyar's connection to it.